Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Mirana.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Pro Dota Cup. It's going to be Game 2 between NMEGG and Team Freedom. Fortunately, Freedom is losing, which bodes ill for Americans and the entire world. But we'll see if Freedom can reign supreme one more time and at least claim a win. Make it 1-1 this bo2. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this second game. Team Freedom and NMEGG, at least NMEGG, get some reserve time in this game, but we could see the Lifestealer and Alchemist getting banned out. Team Freedom going to say, screw that noise, man. We're not going to try anything like that again. Get out in the respect ban or they're banned from the Abaddon as well, which is very odd to see the teams that just played the heroes ban them out afterwards. Kind of crazy, but either way, we're gonna have some real powerhouse heroes in the pool. I do think Doom is probably the best hero in the game right now. You could maybe make some arguments for the Mirana and some of these other kind of more corner case heroes, but Doom is just such a huge catch-all that is hard to really compete with the power level of this hero. And a bounty hunter as well. He's another one. He's up there. So Team Freedom's opening, I think, a lot stronger than NMEGG's, but it's only 2 heroes. Mirana was first banned in the last game, so it is going to be her getting through the pool, and we will probably see her take to some sort of core role. Going to be grabbing that Aghanim Scepter. Going to be dropping some stars. Pretty standard Mirana stuff. And it's kind of weird for me to say pretty standard Mirana stuff because it involves an Aghanim Scepter, which was not exactly a standard Mirana affair just a couple months ago. Power level of this is very high once you get that Aghanim Scepter. Bounty Hunter is a good start at pressuring this hero. If you get someone else with a disable Lion-esque, you'll be able to pressure the Mirana early on and really deny her from getting off to a decent start in that early phase. That is going to be big game for the Team Freedom side if they can sit on this Mirana just a little bit. We have seen teams play Mirana mid. We've seen them still run Mirana as a support. There is going to be some flexibility here. But the Faceless Void can pick here for the NMEGG squad. No huge setup for this hero just yet. Witch Doctor should be in consideration to band out from the Team Freedom squad. The hero power level is certainly very high. Is another hero that gets just absolutely crapped on by Doom. But I do like teams when teams try to craft a draft that has Mirana kind of playing that Broodmother role, even though she is going to go most of the time towards that mid role. Once she does get that Aghanim Scepter, she gets your team so much space, and then you can really set yourself up, play a really pick-off heavy draft. Start roaming around with the likes of Faceless Void. I'd say Beastmaster is also great at doing that. And just try to look for some kills. So I like that general idea with Mirana. I think that's probably one of the best ways to play her. Because you can still look for those assassination targets. Bounty Hunter is a very easy one if she actually catches eyes. And jeez, we're going pretty deep here. We're off the deep end. Wow, I mean, Huskar and Terrorblade is already pretty deep. Sand King is reasonably deep as well, actually. That's actually pretty sick. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, well, they're not going to be seen, unfortunately. Team Freedom, what is going to be their answer to this Mirana? How do they apply pressure to her? Because so many games have seen Mirana go towards mid, have an absolute free roll. Kind of low-ish base damage. Not really the best at trading up against some of the higher nukers. And with the Bounty Hunter roaming in, Team Freedom will have at least the on-paper ability to pressure her. Like, the overarching game plan is going to be just a pick-off game plan for Team Freedom. Slark is pretty much almost exclusively going to go into that role. EnemyGG will need some sort of answer to Slark, although Chronosphere is a pretty darn good one. Chronosphere's combos with EnemyGG right now, Faceless Void Mirana don't really have a great one. You can very easily grab against someone like a Witch Doctor and then make the combo happen. Too bad they banned out the Sand King and the Lich. That would have been crazy, right?
Disruptor.
Static Storm? Okay, well, that's not really a huge combo with Faceless Void. It essentially increases the duration of Chronosphere if you time it such that once the Chronosphere is starting to fade, then you Static Storm Kinetic Field. Which is pretty nice, but for the most part, this Disruptor is just a respect pick towards that Slark.
10 seconds remaining.
Try to answer him through that.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Here, guys, some stuff in the background. Fix that up. Okay, we're good. So yeah, they'll have that answer to the Slark, and Disruptor is probably just one of the better ones. Burst damage is also another way to go. EnemyGG don't really have a ton of that. They can try to out-control him.
Dire team.
I really like this pick of the Puck right now for Team Freedom. As far as laning is concerned, Puck versus Mirana is rather even. The Bounty Hunter mixed in there as well, and you're going to have yourself a good time as Team Freedom until perhaps this Phantom Lancer comes into play. I want to say there's a non-zero chance the Phantom Lancer is going to go towards that mid lane, although I do think it's still going to be Mirana. Phantom Lancer going towards the safe lane. It's just, no, it doesn't really seem spectacular here. It just seems like a solid hero pick for EnemyGG.
Team back.
Hmm.
Dire
Seems like this Mirana may not be going towards the mid lane after all. Team Freedom at least don't think so. The matchup versus Puck is, again, mediocre, but when Puck is with Bounty Hunter, she can very easily jump in and apply that serious pressure. Wow, EnemyGG going to go for an Omni Knight now. Bad in last game, Omni Knight this game. This is how, first of all, you get fans, right? Like, pick up these jank-ass heroes and you win with them. That's how you win fans, and that's sometimes more important than winning the game by itself.
10 seconds.
Grab all those fanboys. Omni Knight as a pick in a vacuum. Is it actually good? I'm
Reserve time.
really not sure. This is going to shove the Mirana over to a support role, which is reasonable, although it is very hard to land an arrow on a Puck. Omni Knight, I assume, is going to go towards that. Where are these lanes actually going to land? Is it Phantom Lancer mid? Phantom Lancer mid, Faceless Void off lane, or is it no? It might actually just be a passive supporting Omni Knight. I'm actually not sure. There's so many options here for the EnemyGG squad. The question is this Omni Knight actually going to be a good pick? Repel does get rid of the Bounty Hunter, makes it so that Puck's life is going to be a little more difficult as well. And yeah, if you actually aren't going to get doomed as the Omni Knight, you can pretty much salvage a fight from nothing with the Guardian Angel. Does that actually warrant the fact that you're going to be grabbing a hero that has very little lane presence, is going to just get munched up by a Slark, is completely shut down by a Doom? It doesn't really have any synergy with the Faceless Void Chronosphere. I'm not sure if this is the best pick for EnemyGG, although I was questioning the second pick of bad in last game, so to be fair, did make that work. Hero the last pick from Team Freedom. Wow, okay. Omni Knight's Repel just got a lot better, and he's going to support. Loomdun going to grab that hero. And we do actually have him in Mirana with the Phantom Lancer safe lane, off on Faceless Void. Okay, supporting Omni Knight. Well, with the Jakiro in play, this supporting Omni Knight actually gets a little bit better, because Jakiro just actually isn't a super strong laner. Dual Breath does okay, Liquid Fire is annoying and everything, but it's not really going to be shutting down anyone completely. The Omni Knight will probably have a chance to actually play that little bit of a side roll into the jungle a little bit, or with the Orb of Venom go smash things. I guess that's good too. Although I wouldn't recommend it. This is very odd. If there was a non-Puck hero in the mid lane, if mid lane was like Invoker, then as an Omni Knight, you could actually kind of pressure him a little bit. But you can't pressure a Puck. That's just not going to happen unless you land a freehand arrow, which is very difficult to do in a 1v1 matchup when Mirana's mid and Puck's mid. I'm not really sure about this Omni Knight's playstyle, but for right now, Faceless Void going to have a pretty clean Faceless Void off-lane situation. Jakiro's going to be poking at him, but as far as killing off the Void, it is very difficult. Freedom are rather ill-equipped to deal with Sovereign, in fact. They did kill him off a few times last game. However, the difference here is that they have very little in the way of disables. Their burst damage actually isn't that high. It's a rather passive lane for the Team Freedom squad. A lane that actually could have been punished from NMEGG if they actually did grab like a little bit more of an offensive set of heroes and put them on the bottom lane. The Faceless Void should be able to survive, and even if he doesn't have a great time, play that Iron Talon role that he did last game. No big deal there. Top lane, BSJ, gonna go up against the Doom of IX Mike. Most part, with a little bit of help from Frozen's Disruptor. Well, oh, geez, look at this. Look at this flavor win, right? We got Frozen on Disruptor, who's playing like the Sub-Zero set. Looking sick as hell. Doom is going to be, for the most part, fine as well. You would expect the Omnite maybe to appear there time to time. For the most part, Disruptor and the Phantom Lancer won't be able to completely shut down Doom. He should be okay. And Jubei's the X factor here. Bounty Hunter always is. He's going to be the one that tips this lane in favor of Sunbi's Puck. The Puck, unlike some other heroes, can actually jump in towards the Mirana very aggressively once the Bounty Hunter comes in. The Queen of Pain can do it well as also. Right now, IX Mike, wow, taking a lot of damage. There's another Lance here. I think there's enough damage unless the illusion happened to block him. Another Thunderstrike will get the kill, actually. I think he's going to have to salve up. One more Thunderstrike and he's dead. He will have to salve. But 120 mana, I think 120 mana, 130 mana for a salve, not bad for a Disruptor, not bad at all. Doom will have to slow this lane down a little bit and lean on his Devour a little bit more. The ultimate situation on this bottom lane for EnemyGG is a dual lane Omni Knight Faceless Void with Decrep Aura, and Jakiro's caught. Jakiro is one of the tankiest intelligence heroes in the game, though, and playing him as a support does offer you that luxury. You will not easily kill him off. Loomden, in fact, taking a lot of damage from the Bounty Hunter here. Omni Knight's pretty big himself. 5 armor, a lot of health. Degen Aura, he's actually going to look for a Deny to the Birds. He'll get it. Sovereign should be fine as well. Yeah, Slark is kind of just AFK farming in the meantime while all this is happening. What is the game plan here for the EnemyGG side? Sovereign's going to get in a little bit of trouble again. He's going to time walk back out. He'll have a salve. He'll be just fine. Still level 1 in the Omni Knight. I think the biggest gain from this lane for the EnemyGG squad is that they're forcing the Bounty Hunter to stay down here. Of course, means that the Mirana is going to have a much better time, and the better time the Mirana has, the more guaranteed her Aghanim Scepter is going to be. See, though, in the lane, not really the best position versus the Puck. Base damage-wise, projectile-wise, nuke trading-wise, it just has a lot to be desired. Omnite leads level 2 if he's actually going to make any sort of significant impact in this game, but pounced up now. He'll start losing that stats. Degen Aura is so bad right now. Lumden's going to die to the Dragon. Sovereign's also in a little bit of trouble. He will have a time walk out. His double damage rune really putting the screws to him. So yeah, the big gain here for EnemyGG is that they're forcing the Bounty Hunter to stay down in this bottom lane. But they don't really get paid off until level 3 on these heroes. That's when Faceless Void actually has the ability to time walk in, take a small, really slow fight, and then actually time walk out afterwards. And of course you have Purify and Repel and whatnot to really help out in there as well. As it stands right now, though, a couple of melee heroes, a couple of awkward melee heroes trying to run at the likes of a Slark or a Jakiro, that's not going to cut it. I like the game plan in theory, mostly because it involves a very rarely seen hero in the Omni Knight. It has a lot to be desired. They do have eyes, however, on the Slark. Glimpse is not leveled. Oh no. Well, Slark's going to be fine. See, this type of lane can work against some heroes. Slark really isn't one of them. How are you supposed to disable him? Now that the Disruptor is tied up on this bottom lane, which leaves so much extra room for IX Mike to be up towards top. Just said that. So this is the type of lane that maybe EnemyGG could have pressured if they had a more offensive set of heroes. This tri-lane is not a dangerous tri-lane of Faceless Void, Omni Knight, Disruptor. Like one Liquid Fire and they're not doing any damage anymore. And of course, Dual Breath up against the mess of melee heroes is fantastic. Don't lose the Courier there, that'll be bad. Okay, they won't. This is going to cost BSJ a lot of time towards top lane, as the Doom will be able to recover pretty much entirely. Into a fight now, Sovereign trading some hits, but he has time to walk out. There's still no Ice Path. Dual Breath gonna land squarely onto this Omni Knight, no repel, so he's gonna take a lot of damage here. Pounce Flea is gonna miss, gets purified in the face, but still the Omni Knight's taking some damage here, and he will fall to the Slark, who's now gonna fall back and should be just fine. Again, no mana for Glimpse. Sovereign's gonna take the right click damage down as the arrow does come in. Everyone's gonna dodge it, so Slayer's gonna completely whiff. Omni Knight dying once again on this bottom lane. Freedom barely breaking a sweat for it. It's just the EnemyGG heroes, melee and awkward up against a Slark. There are situations where you can out melee a Slark just by charging him down. Those situations are almost exclusively ones where the hero has a stun. Any stun, like a Slithering Crush or a Storm Hammer or an Avalanche, I don't know what, like anything, then you can actually have a chance at killing him because you can actually wall him off from his pounce escape. Not this game. Slayer's going to get jumped one more time. Courier's flying overhead, actually. Will deliver the bottle, and that will mean that Slayer's just fine. Frozen has a glimpse, but no good glimpse targets. But while the heroes actually go towards the bottom lane, this is going to free up the bottom lane for a big win for IX Mike. Completely free to farm up towards top lane, and to a lesser extent, the Mirana's being freed up as well. He's going to always pretty much fall behind in CS, at least slightly versus an enemy puck. All her farms coming up at an okay rate. And this bottom lane situation is still an absolute mess. No CS is being claimed here by the EnemyGG side. They're not applying pressure to a Slark. I think it's probably just, yeah, Doomdun who should be going off to the jungle right now. Like that passive AFK role that I was talking about earlier. The Omnite really is a hero that you want to play as a core, but you really can't because of how awkward he is. Slayer's going to get coiled over in mid. If you leap, you die. There's no repel or purify in time. Puck will grab a very easy kill with the help of Jubei. Level 4 now on the bounty and level 6 on the puck. Become a very big kill on the Mirana. This Omni Knight is in such an awkward phase. They're going to jump in towards the IX Mike up towards top lane. They have a glimpse. Bring him right back in. He's going to run to the north. There is no fire here for him to walk on. Doom will get scorched in the back, actually, by a spear. Jay going to claim pretty clean kill towards top lane. But still Doom getting a lot more than he probably should. Getting a lot more than the other enemy off lane, that's for damn sure. I'm like kind of leeching experience from everywhere wherever he can. But if he was just playing that pulling stacking role, I feel like he could have had about the same impact on this game with maybe fewer deaths.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
3-1 either way, and Freedom are really getting a decent spot in this game, mostly because of this bottom lane scenario. Faceless Void, definitely here that can recover off of a bad laning phase. I see Jubei, I think they see him. Double Sentry Ward by the same person also. Frozen must have fat fingered that one. Kind of sucks actually. But yeah, no real huge tipping point items coming in just yet, so it should just be, you know, standard rotations and aiming for kills. There's another coil here. Big timing that's going to come is actually Jubei's track. That's the closest being complete right now. Ooh, are they just going to purify Jubei? I don't think Lumden actually knew that he was there. Got him anyway. Zumbi has another coil. Time to look for that aggro play. Going in towards top lane, difficult since there's no one here. Going in towards BSJ though is the target. Lancer passively farming it up. Got the Aquila. Maybe Travel's coming up next. 4-1 roll. 4-1 game where Mirana's with that Aghanim Scepter just bouncing around everywhere and pushing out the creep waves. Hopefully for her sake, not going to get doomed. Speaking of, going to join hands will soon be up towards top. Tier 1 taking a beating will be fortified, and the reinforcements are coming around the corner. Spotted shortly by the Observer Ward. They see the Moonlight Shadow. And of course they scan as well. And they land a free hand arrow. That's the big question here. The setup is pretty much exclusively in this Disruptor with the glimpse. Sunbi gonna walk right into it. No, he's gonna phase shift it. And now he has a chance to orb out. He will do just that right over the Mirana. Gets glimpse back, however, drops a 2-man coil in the meantime. Now the Doom into Lundun is gonna destroy him. But it is only 2 versus 4 right now, as I expect is gonna bail out. Sunbi will witness the kill, but will fall shortly after. Free to make a 1-for-1 trade. Yet fail to reinforce properly. No heroes coming in. Like, just a simple Jakiro rotation would have done wonders for that fight up towards top lane because everyone was clustered up. Now Slayer's going to get caught by Jubei. And he's going to chop him down. Oh, one more hit is all he needs, but he can't quite get it. Oh, Jubei running into a wall from Frozen. Now, not going to get glimpse back. Glimpse to back. He'll still survive. Could have had a big kill on the Mirana. Solo kill worth of experience. Would have gotten him like level 5.5, and he's still going to go for it, actually. Target acquired. Intercept path selected. And it's golden. It's golden. It's good. Oh, Jubei with the reads. No scan needed there. Fortunately, still at level 6, but he's pretty much there. So again, big kill for the Bounty Hunter because of the experience he gets from a solo kill. Of course, Gold is there as well. The experience that he really wants. And while that skirmish was happening up towards top lane, Jakiro was pushing down this bottom lane. Down the tier 1 tower. Was it denied? No, it was destroyed by the Jakiro. And this is something that Jakiro is going to guarantee you whenever you pick him up in any situation, you will get a handful of towers, to say the least. Liquid Fire is just that valuable as a pushing tool, that efficient. First with only Faceless Void and under-leveled Faceless Void to defend, there's not much you can do. They're actually giving Flea the jungle with Hand of Midas, giving Eagle the lane, which is quite a nice change, I think. I mean, Jakiro is one of those support heroes that just is so much better once he gets like level 10, 11, because he gets points in Ice Path, points in Dual Breath, and he's actually a well-varied magical threat. To mention the fact that he's always going to shove down the waves, and he's always going to take you some towers. Freedom. Is it time to get behind this Jakiro battering ram? I don't think it's quite time yet. They do have a Coil and Doom, and they do have Track. They're really missing that Blink Dagger to really get the huge payoff. Slayer, though, is going to get jumped. He will snap the Coil, but jump forward from Sumbi anyway. He missed the Orb. Waiting Rift is going to land, and they will lose the Slark in the meantime. Got jumped, Static Storm, and Chronosphere was used there. Freedom could have gotten the Mirana kill if the Orb was just a little bit closer. Still have the Doom, though. IX Mike is actually very close to a Mechanism. Pretty expensive item as far as mana is concerned, so Doom may be strapped for that a little bit. Look at that right now. Mana cost is no joke. Half of his mana pool, and he needs to cast Doom and Scorched Earth. Would like to cast Infernal Blade, would like to cast the Stomp. Nice to have, but he really does need a little bit more intelligence or Arcane Boots, something if he's going to make that really efficient for himself. Either way, Freedom do get a tower in the end up towards top lane. And once they get this Blink Dagger and just a little bit of gold for Sunbi, it is time to start forming up with that battering ram of the Jakiro. Can pretty cleanly take tier 1 towers down. Tier 2s are a little bit more difficult, especially since it's going to be more likely that NMEGG defend it, you know, throwing out Chronospheres and ultimates in general to try to defend. Mech, Blink Dagger, very close to completion. If Slark can maybe grab his Shadow Blade components, a Shadow Blade component by that time, they'll be very happy to make that play. And there we go. There's the Arcane Boots on the Doom. So now he's got the mana to actually use Mechanism, which is quite nice. And that Aura roll, Vlad's I would expect is his build-up in the future. Doom's going to run straight to Frozen. And he's looking for the ultimate cast. Got fogged the first time, and he's actually not going to get a second chance. Slark in the meantime, killing himself mostly with the Pact. He'll be fine though, that's what Slark does. And Jubei looking for Frozen, but BSJ is here as well, as tanky as Jakiro is, and a Static Storm, that's not where he wants to be. He'll try to teleport out. BSJ's damage is going to be high enough with the Disruptor and Lumina coming in. Jubei is going to get out of protection range, and he's still going to stalk a couple heroes. As Track, doesn't really know if he wants to throw him, as Sunbi is now going to get chased down. Glimpsed right back into a field, coils onto 4 heroes. He's going to orb out of it actually from before, and still he's alive. He's going to phase shift out, but he's still going to fall to the stars. Track onto his Lumton, but he's repelled. He's not going to die. 70 HP, he lives. And that's going to be a pause moment. IX Mike, that's a fight where you need a Mechanism in that. NMEGG. Narrowly outmaneuver Puck, although we could see the value of that Puck. Go land center. See the value of the Puck landing a 4-man combo. That was a complete combo as well. Coil, Orb, and Silence on the 4. They had any follow-up at all. If they didn't lose the Jakiro beforehand, just to lay down 1 level 2 dual breath, would have been a ton of kills for sure. But unfortunately, not going to be the case. Slark is not really expected to participate in those type of fights until he gets that one fighting item. It's really the Doom who should have been there, but wasn't. Pretty sure that's why we're paused also. They're trying to figure out what's going on. No one's disconnected yet. By the way, checking up at these items. Nothing really huge here for the EnemyGG squad. Yasha on Lancer, nothing on the Mirana, nothing on anyone else really. Some pretty big hits for Freedom. Blink Dagger, Animitis, Mechanism. And of course Track, so they could easily get more items down the line. This is what happens when you place a little bit too much priority on Mirana pick, I feel. If the hero is so strong, once she actually gets that Aghanims build up, then you're good to go. Until that, it's kind of mediocre. It's so fragile for one thing. Like, we'd see Mirana just constantly being destroyed by a coil. That's really not going to change. I feel like Mirana is viable as a second pick, second phase pick. First pick, I would probably not. It's more priority on, you know, your bounty hunters and your dooms of the world. Generally going to be just slightly stronger, slightly more consistent rather. I think maybe Mirana has a similar ceiling to those heroes, but the floor is just way too high for her to be considered a always first pick hero in my opinion. Unless teams figure out how to like defend her with some sort of like dual lane combo in mid. Not really sure what that would be. It'd probably be something like an Earthshaker type hero. I'm sure teams have tried that, but Fissure isn't exactly the greatest for setting up arrows, so you really need something a little bit harder than that. Maybe Bane Mirana is a 2-hero mid lane combo. Maybe we'll see the Shadow Demon make his return. You never know. Okay, well, we've had a lot of pause time in this game. Fantastic, I love it. And, yeah, I mean, towers are starting to fall in the Dire squad. For the Dire squad. Hero value right there. Needs, level of Ice Path. He needs to start going for some more experience. He needs to survive these engagements, mostly. Handful of hero kills witnessed. High-level Jakiro can absolutely destroy tier 2s. Especially since he has a Mechanism Doom behind him. Slow siege, boys. Probably the weakest part of Jakiro's game. The first 10 minutes, they're already past. And they will be pretty happy now that Jakiro's past that point. Rather high level as well. Like, level 7, I guess, across the board. Pretty par for the course, actually. Oh my god, guys. Pause duration. Well, you know, I mean, sometimes playing Dota and it just never cooperates with you. The teams are not saying anything. Oh shit, we went. Jeez, we actually went. Gonna be Freedom trying to recover from that last fight, but as long as Puck has the Blink Dagger, and he does, as long as Doom has the Mechanism, and he does have that as well, time for Freedom to make these aggressive plays, I think. Going for Roche going to be difficult for both teams, so that's probably not going to be a huge objective. Slark, I want to say Shadow Blade for him. Yeah, just any sort of aggressive item to help him get into those fights. Any sort of efficient stat item, rather. You make some plays once you get that coil back up, but right now, Observer Ward, gonna track down Flea, and they're gonna get caught by the Chronosphere. Hook, line, and sinker. It was a bait. There's no static from him, though. There's an arrow coming in. The Slark, though, gonna go invis beforehand, though, so he's gonna be just fine to absorb that. Jakiro kills off the Omni Knight, and he will fall himself, but will Flea survive? That's a big question. Sovereign's gonna get doomed up. Background as Flea's gonna jump right over the trees and go for the Faceless Void. Who baited who there? The arrow combo was decent with the Chronosphere, but Static Storm was 20 seconds away from being cooled down, and the arrow landed right after rather, Flea popped Pact and his ultimate. So yeah, it landed on him, but he didn't take any damage from it, didn't even get stunned by it, because it was just instantly purged off. EnemyGG, they use that ward as bait, and it's a good idea if they have the Static Storm, but really their combos with the Faceless Void ultimate are few and far between. That was pretty much Freedom reinforcing to a T. The Observer ward off the ground as well, just as an extra bonus. That was a coilless fight from Freedom. That was a Doom and track kill on the Faceless Void. A little extra cash there. They're still going to tend to their lanes, but a up is incoming. Doom's not going to be up for another minute. That's a lot of downtime on this ultimate. Big downsides of the hero in general. Whether or not they actually doom someone, I feel like is almost completely irrelevant, since they do have the Blink Silence coil from the puck. And if you're someone like a Phantom Lancer, you don't really have any great answers to that. There he is. He's going to doppelgang up to the north. Coil is going to see him. He's going to try to teleport out. That's not going to happen. So much damage here. Disruptor is going to teleport in. But he can't do that much. Eagle's going to see Lumden right now. Moonlight Shadow is active. Glimpse back onto the Jakiro, but they're just going to line up for him. No, there's an arrow waiting for him. Sovereign's there as well. Beat down to the Jakiro. He will fall as Ix Mike is knocking the mechanism to save his dragon buddy. Meantime, though, they're going to jump in towards Sovereign, make him pay with his life. No time walking time. Now the Purge onto Lumden. That's going to keep him in the clutches of the Slark. Get another kill. Another track kill at that. And bounce up to Frozen. Oh, man, a Shuriken. Sunbi's gonna jump in and dodge the, no, almost dodge the arrow. Mechanism still, so he shouldn't die. Mechanism? Mechanism? God damn it, Mike, what the hell was that? You gotta mech your puck, bro. He's gonna still go for Slayer in the base. Still get the kill for the track. And everyone else should survive. Flea's just gonna run out of there. Probably could have saved the puck there, honestly, but yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Either way, Flea's still on the run. He is fleeing. They have a Chronosphere, but they will never, ever catch up to a Slark unless Disruptor glimpses him back, and he will do that. There's the dust. There's the glimpse all the way into a time bubble, and Flea will fall. A little bit of a messy set of engagements there for Team Freedom, honestly. But still they get a handful of track kills. Still Jakiro, he's level 8. Pretty much taking the bullet every single time for his team. Not getting that much help from them, though. Doom's mechanism has been rather slow to pop. I know they do lose Slark in the end, going all the way to the tier 4s, and, well, minimize their casualties, I suppose. Well, they can actually just go straight for the pushes. That's still something that can be done. They actually, you know, calm down for a minute and stop getting these super aggressive kills. Okay, walking in, he knows that there is sentry vision somewhere here. Back up Lumden, and that's about it. Arrow is available. Mirana's starting to build in towards that Aghanim Scepter, but it's going to be a long time until she actually has it. Until then, she's going to get doomed. She does leap out of it. Shuriken is going to come in, bounce over towards Lumden. However, he's able to cast spells, Guardian Angel being one of them. Macropyre down on the deck, will burn through a whole bunch of those. BSJ is stopping out early. They will take down the Mirana. Now they have eyes on the Stand Lancer. They'll mech up. Chronosphere now available. Coil in onto 2 from Sunbi is good, but Sovereign's going to try to do some damage to the puck. Won't have enough, as Shuriken now going to bounce through onto 3. Will kill off the Omni in the process. Caught BSJ with the Ice Path. That's about it. Flea coming in. Will miss the pounce. Now is overcommitted. He's going to go into his ulti form, try and take down Frozen. One more shot. Not quite enough. Back form, though, is deployed out of panic, and Flea glimpses as well. Not going to do anything. He does pull out a pretty big ultimate from the EnemyGG squad. Freedom, once again, reaps so many kills, most of which, if not all of which, being track kills. Now they're in a position where they could actually think about going for high ground or slide down to the bottom lane, grab an easy tier 2 there. There's no Chronosphere for another 10 seconds. We'll fortify that mid tower, but that of course means bottom lane is free for the taking. They will slide right down Freedom, start beating down on that one. EnemyGG looking to push forward and make a defense. Ube is here with the track at the ready. Is the one that they really need to do the damage though. Macropyre, cleaning up the creep wave, dual breath on the Sovereign as well. An Ice Path, that'll show him. Jump in and Chronosphere, you'll catch the Jakiro, but you won't be able to damage him that much. EP out, they're trying to bait the Chronosphere. They're not going to cast it. Soon be waiting for that, because he's got the coil. Jakiro's in his sights, blink in, silence onto 2. No coil deployed just yet. Now it is onto 3. It's great, but where's the follow-up? And only Flea in the middle of this fight right now. He's in his ultimate form. Even though he's in the Chronosphere, he's taking very little damage. Mirana's not going to have a clean arrow shot, but she will land it in the end, kill off the Slark. Doom's now in the middle of the fray. Mechanism's has already been popped, and he's about out of gas. So he has to leave right now. With the Scorched Earth, he's going to get glimpsed right back into the tower. He will dodge the field. Really actually dodged death here. Another lance is going to be thrown. Lots of regen here on this Doom. Guardian Greaves going to do its work, but not quite enough work, I don't feel. Juve's going to show himself, try to distract away from the Doom, as Sunbi maybe looking to reinitiate off on the backside, but IX Mike's taking a beating right now. Shuriken going to bounce through onto 2 stacks from this deploy, but Sunbi's going to jump in, kill off the Disruptor. Thinking about orbing in, he's going to jump right into Sovereign right now. Is there a bash? There's not, but there's a Purify. That might be good enough, as Sunbi's going to get some cover under his tier 1, which is somehow still alive. Lance is going to miss. He has a blink off to the right side, and he will do just that. Now here comes reinforcements. It's Eagle and Juve, both at full HP. They're going to throw out Ice Path onto BSJ. No breath on a Sovereign, and BSJ as well. Purify again. Going to come in. Jerking a bounce through. Omnet, though, still alive at 10 HP, as Eagle is going to get picked off. One final arrow from the Mirana. Lumdun on his way out, and they have eyes on only Slayer. Juve can't quite catch up in time. Slayer is still tracked up here. Sunbi has another blink combo, and he will land it onto Slayer, mostly orb through. That's a dead Mirana, even though the orb missed. Their eyes on Sovereign now. It's another time walk, and he will do just that. Flea's gonna come in hot. It's like that should just about be the end of it. This game is messy as hell. Blink, Courier Snipe, successful. Ultimate orb for BSJ down the tubes. This is Manta style unavailable for 3 minutes. Quite an expensive loss there. See these fights though, even though they're going rather back and forth. Some aggressive plays. Freedom with the track are just getting slightly more out of every single one. Sunbi's staying alive, the Bounty Hunter doing pretty well to keep himself alive as well. Got drums, got Vlads now for the team. And we have pipes being built up. Freedom. Yes, I said pipes plural. It might just be one. But enemy don't really have any damage. Even when this Mirana ulti comes up online with the Aghanim Scepter, not really a super high damage spell when there's 2 pipes in there. And Sovereign now in a little bit of trouble. Will get with the coil, still alive, but he's doomed. So he's probably just gonna straight up die to that one. As my Mike's gonna jump into the back. Guardian Greaves up as the enemy team is gonna chase forward. Slayer's in the corner with Lumden against the Ice Path. Not a good spot for him to be. Now purged up, and will actually dodge IX Mike's Infernal Blade swing. And now Chronosphere onto IX Mike. They may take out this Doom. Arrow onto Eagle as well, but is there enough follow-up to this one? Orb's gonna fly through as Slayer's gonna get jumped by the Shuriken and Puck. Gonna grab that kill. Another Ice Path gonna be thrown. This one not the best, but they're right in the enemy base right now, and Sovereign, he's gonna have to time walk out of there. Tracks are being thrown out to absolutely everyone. Shuriken gonna bounce through onto 2. Frozen's gonna get orbed in. Another track kill for Freedom. And Sunbi is just sniping all the kills with that Blink Dagger Puck. Freedom are getting very, very far ahead at this stage. Puck survives, Slark survives, Tower will not survive. Chronosphere was deployed, there is no Static Storm, there's no Disruptor for another 20 seconds. Fire is going to do its work against these structures right now. I'm not sure if there's much that Freedom can do. BSJ is going to jump right in. Going to not get pounced up, has backup from the Omni Knight. But it's still a dangerous situation to say the least. A straight Ice Path can just lead to the death of these heroes. Another coil's up in just a handful of seconds. Back on the BSJ, Lumden can get rid of that one. Get rid of occasionally. Oh, they're going to get the blind slap on the Slark. This runs right into the arrow. Oh, Slark with the misplays. BSJ, he's going to snap the coil, but he will still survive. Brax's as well, not dying. Ice Path is going to cover the retreat. Very nicely played there. They should all survive. There's no sphere up. There's another Ice Path soon. There should be. In fact, they're going to turn around for a jump-in orb onto 3 heroes. Sunbi again with the value plays. Ice Path coming in as well. Stash Form may be deployed, but they've already lost 2. They're going to lose 3 in the form of the Omni. Frozen and BSJ all weakened as well. They'll roast to the Scorcher Doom. It's going to be almost a full wipe. The Phantom Lancer does jump out of there, but what a turnaround. Sunbi's value has been insane. They would kill for a Veil right now. It would have been a clean wipe. But instead, Kuro's ultimate's landing. Ice Paths are on point. Scorched Earth there as well. And that's GG. Early laning stage of enemy, GG. Not quite good enough, I think. That's really awkward. Aces Void Omni Knight play. It's, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. And Doom, of course, getting a ton out of that top lane scenario because of the weird off lane scenario from enemy. That Purge creep did some serious work. Satyr Banisher, I want to say, is the name of the creep. I'm not sure. I think Soul Stealer is the mana burn one, Banisher is the purge one, but that was an overperformer as well. And Jakiro support with Puck jumping in as well to capitalize. It's all good, man. It's all good. Freedom are going to